Happy Sunday, witches. Today's card pull is from our Witch Oracle card deck, written by Angie Sullins. Artwork is by Silas Tobal. The notes from our Witch's Almanac is that the moon is in Leo to elevate your confidence, and this advice goes really well with our card pull today. Goddess of Grace. The Goddess of Grace is a benign ruler whose principal gift is kindness. So, instead of doling out judgment or punishment when one of her people commits a crime or transgresses against another, she encourages the entire community to gather around the lotus fire. Around that lotus fire, the community reminds the offender of every good deed and kindness they have ever performed since they were small. And in this way, the wayward person is brought home to themselves and their community rather than being ostracized through retribution or shame. And we here in our culture are really, really aware of the ostracization and retribution that we get if we make a mistake. Here's the thing. When we're reminded of the good things that we've done, we're reminded of our inherent worth. We may be held accountable for our actions and we are still required to make amends, but with the support and the kindness of the entire village who understands that the mistake was a faulty action, that does not make the person or the person's soul faulty. We all make mistakes, but it's how those around us treat us that when the mistakes are made is what makes a difference in how we approach those mistakes. So mistakes are a bad, awful, terrible, no good, very bad thing. When in all actuality, if we don't make mistakes, we can't learn. So the question to ask ourselves is, how does our tribe, our village, our community support and uphold you when you're making those mistakes? Is it demanding that you change and make it right? Or is it approaching it with, hey, this was a mistake. How can we make it different? A witch follows that same example of grace, not only towards the people around her, but for herself personally. When her actions have gone astray and caused harm, she has to remind herself of all the goodness in her own depths. We have to allow ourselves to drink from the chalice of human kindness, which right now seems to be empty, but we can fill it if we're willing to help other people do that. The Goddess of Grace is also willing to take action, and the witch has to do the same thing. Take action, cutting away that shame and the sting of their own transgressions with the sword of accountability. So we're going to need to make amends and resolve to do better. As Maya Angelou is so well known in saying, do the best you can with the knowledge that you have. And then when you learn better, you do better. We need to remember this practice of compassion towards ourselves just as much as we extend that same grace to the other people around us. Offering both the chalice and the sword when they have suffered an injustice by another is the best way to empower each other with grace.